very nice to see you, even if we are connecting remotely. I want to start by asking you how you have been, and hope you're doing well and your family is doing well.
Yeah, in our family, all three of us are 70 plus. I'm going to be 70 in August, so we have to be at home. But our work, we are doing our work. Like, Infosys Foundation, we are doing a lot of work actually, plenty of work, but from remote control like this.
Right. Ms. Sudha Murty, today is a special day for you. It's International Book Day, but it's also a day when you're launching yet another book. Tell me about your new book, and in the midst of all this, how have you had time to write so prolifically? You're sort of releasing a book every year. Tell us about this latest book.
This I wrote it before COVID-19 came to India, and we planned it to release 23rd April, but we never knew it will be like this. Normally I enjoy going to book release because I love children, and this is meant for, it's a picture book for children. So I would have been very
Right.
happy, and it's also, this is the first audio book I am doing that.
So that
Uh,
must have been a new experience for
yeah, I
you.
would have loved to, but one is my age. Second thing is my work, because around the clock I'm working for the COVID-19. We have supplied so many masks and PPE and food. This goes on, ventilators. So I said no, I rather stay and do that work, and I will not go.
Right, right. And tell us more about this book. What message does it
Well,
have for children in these tough times, in these anxious times?
anxious times are there, but let us make it as easy or as as you can entertain children as much as possible. So I said, okay, this book should be released because this is concerned, like, we all of us eat onion. And as a child, vegetarian family, like a traditional family like ours, onion was never a part of our menu or our cuisine. And it was always considered like a non-vegetarian. And there was a separate kitchen to cook onion. And I always fascinated by that. It tastes so good. And why you have tears when you cut onion. It was always in my mind. So I thought I will just weave a story on that, how onion got its layers, and that the book which I thought children will enjoy.
Right, right. And what would your advice be to parents who are kind of struggling at this point, especially working moms? They have housework, then they also have to school their children, and then they also have to work for the office. What would your advice be for them? Women seem to be really struggling because, there is too much that they have to do at the same time.
Yeah, I do agree, particularly with women, because there is no domestic help. You have to clean your house, you have to wash your dishes, you have to look after your children, also you have to work from home. I think I advise men now, than more than women, they must participate more in these activities and share equally, because it's really, really hard time.
Right. How is the situation in your house? Are you getting help from Mr. Murthy for all these things?
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Murthy helps me a lot. Helps me a lot. And again, our demands are also less because we don't have children studying at school. That is the latest thing. That is the struggling part is not there for us. Only three of us are there. So any simple cooking or anything is fine.
So what is your routine looking like these days? Is there a lot of household chores, a lot of cooking,
Not much,
cleaning,
not
and
much.
you also head the foundation, so you're also involved in those activities. So how has your routine changed post the lockdown?
A lot actually, because around 7:38 I should rush to office and come back only at 5. Now I will finish all my work by 7:30, and not much work in our house because we are all less demanding people. Three of us 70 and above. So one time if you cook, it will be enough for both time. And a foundation I can't go, but I have to be on the telephone for 4 to 5 hours a day. That is tiring.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
See, I can't coordinate, though I make a bridge calls, etc. But still, when you are in the job or when you're on the site, and normally I used to be on the site, you know, distribution or anything. This is the first time I'm not on the site.
Right, right. A lot of people have been sharing stories about, what they are cooking, new things they are trying out. how they are sort of busy in the kitchen again. Do you
No,
have
no,
any
we are not.
interesting anecdotes to share?
No,
Any
no,
experiments
no.
that
We
you've
are
been
one of
doing?
those people where we hardly cook rice, dal, then chapati, sabji. Not anything more than that. No, no.
So simple and nutritious
Yeah,
diet is the order of
absolutely.
the day.
In the whole process, and then I take all my calls while walking. So I do a lot of walking at home now, and probably I must have lost weight as well because of the walking, continuously walking and taking the calls. This much exercise
Right,
I would
right,
not have done if I had gone to foundation.
right, right. And since you have released a book today, I'm curious to know who your favorite authors are. If there is an author apart from Sudha Murty who you would recommend to children today, who would that be?
I really do not know because not I'm not a child now, you know. As a child, I was very fond of certain authors in Kannada because I'm a Kannada medium person, and later some serious writers from England. But in general, I think it's hard for me to pinpoint one person. And again,
Right,
every day I read about couple of hours now. So I'm planning to write one book, in coming days, for children only. Again, for children, like
right,
COVID experience is saying that how in a COVID time the grandparents should behave, or what I would have behaved,
right,
children would have been, grandchildren would have
right, right. Which reminds me, how are your grandchildren coping in the UK?
been. Like,
Your son-in-law is leading a very important role, the first India-born finance minister of the United Kingdom. Your daughter is there, your children are there. Are you tracking the UK updates very closely?
not much. Actually, I track a lot more India where the coronavirus is more. Whether we can, is there any machine we can buy so that testing should be faster, and ventilators we are supplying, and how much we may require more. I'm more into my own country's affair, and I do see once in a while, and he does, and
Right.
he has a tremendous work, and I don't. More than that, I do not know, and I'm sure he must be working very hard. That's all. And
Right.
grandchildren,
And how is Rohan, ma'am? Is he in the US? Is he in India?
he's in UK. He was supposed to come that day. The flights got cancelled, so he's stuck in UK with his wife there.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
My
A little.
friends and I wanted to spend more time on telling them stories on a FaceTime or something, but they have online courses, so too much screen time is not good. So I cancelled that. Otherwise, I would love to tell them one story a day on a FaceTime.
Right. In fact, if parents want to ask you today, how they should encourage their children to read more and spend less time on screen, what would you tell them?
I
Because even
I
if you look
really
at
see that.
schools now, they have taken the entire process of education online. They
Yeah.
have apps, they have websites to log on to. People are conducting classes via Zoom. How would you advise parents to kind of strike a balance here?
Actually, I personally consider at this age it's very hard. We should not have so much of screen time, but I don't know about the schooling system. But I tell them whenever the schooling system or online classes will be over, they should children should spend more time in reading and exercising. They can't go out, but their own apartment on the chat or on the terrace, they can do something. I saw a very nice video how they can exercise on the terrace. I would feel that is better. Or spend more time in reading. This is the best time you can read actually and develop that hobby. But I
Right.
never thought in my lifetime I would have seen this kind of a scenario. I never ever knew this kind will come. My grandfather used to tell me in his olden days we used to have plague, cholera, typhoid, but I don't know, because how severe it was. But this is something which I never ever imagined would come like this.
Is this the longest period you have spent at home? Because I know you're someone who is always on the move, always on the road, traveling to different parts of Karnataka.
As far as, as,
So,
far as I remember, is the longest time I'm locked in at home, and so is Murthy. So we get longer. I think we are getting a lot of time in the family now.
right. How has that been? Spending time as a family after a long time. Because both of you, I mean, he's traveling to different parts of the world, you are constantly on the move. How has that sort of helped? I mean,
Well,
or what kind of change has that brought in your lives?
well, I learned little more, a lot of things from him now, particularly about, he is a keen observer on the BBC, so I get from him only all the information, and I supply India's information, particularly Karnataka. I know fairly well on my fingertips because of my work. We exchange, and we all, both of us, pray God that let the vaccine come as early as possible.
Right, right. I'm sure that is something that all of us are hoping and praying for. I
Yeah.
also wanted to ask you, during the floods, I remember you went personally. There was a video clip of you packing items, relief items, and distributing. Do you feel a little isolated at this point that perhaps you're not able to,
Of course,
you're not
I feel,
able to be hands-on? Hmm.
because normally, if this condition would not have been there, some situation is like this. What I would have done, I have my own go down, pack there, supervise that. Then I will go one of the location, just a surprise visit. So much I used to do. Today I have to tell someone to get the material, someone to pack, someone to send it, and someone to go and check if really is going on. My efficiency has come down 50%. I feel. Otherwise, I'd have done a lot more work than this.
What would your
50%.
message be for people who feel that their efficiency or productivity is coming down?
Yeah, of course it comes down, but you should remember it's a World War III. Okay, in a war, you cannot say, "Oh, I will be super efficient and I will do the way I want." Nothing. Given set of difficult situation, do your level best. That's the way I look at it. Don't complain.
Right.
Oh, don't complain. We have not stepped out of the house since March 17th onwards.
Wow. That must be the longest for you.
Not get, because we should respect our prime minister has told we should not, we should be inside, and we are inside, including my dog Gopi.
Right. And a lot of people are also dealing with a lot of anxiety on what will happen because you never know, who it will strike next and what's going to happen. What would your advice be to people who are coping with anxiety or how they can cope with anxiety in these circumstances? Is
number
there a
one,
regimen you follow?
no, number one, you should follow what is told to us. Wash your hand 20 times or 10 times. Then anything I get from the market, normally, you know, vegetables and all I grow. So what I get it from my area, keep them 24 hours outside. All milk packets in a, I have a liquid soap solution. In that you dip and take it and keep it for an hour and bring it back. Then don't go out of your compound. Don't meet anyone. Okay. Now with all those things, if it comes, then you can't help it. You can't help it. But
You have to cope with it.
yeah, because it's a war situation. You can't predict. You can't. And in our house, we have followed every rule what they have given. Don't go out of the house, and we wash our own clothes. Actually, I'm washing my own clothes, and I'm not even given to washing machine because washing machine you require a load. In our case, our load is so less. Okay,
Hmm.
so I wash my clothes, hang them, then sun dry it, bring it back, then walk at home, and a good diet you should have. Then I take protein use instead. Mostly take D protein. You improve your your immune system as much as possible. You do, but don't go out of the house. Don't meet strangers. Wash your hands. Keep sanitizer. I kept sanitizer at the entry only.
Right, right. Ma'am,
So I
I
don't
also
tell
wanted to.
people, don't get, it is a problem to worry, but by worrying you can't solve this problem. You take the advice and follow it up. That's I want to tell everybody.
Right, right. And ma'am, the first time around, you and Dr. Devi Shetty had sent a list of recommendations to the Karnataka government even before the lockdown was announced that there should be a lockdown.
Yeah.
And Prime Minister Modi extended the lockdown till the first week of May. What happens after that? Do you think things should start coming back to normal in phases? Because there is worry about industries being shut down, livelihoods being lost. It feels like has now become a trade-off between life and livelihood. So how do you think, we should come back to normal? What can start happening in the first week of May? Have we done well?
See, I wrote to CM, I think on 17th or 18th, and I urged number one to be close the schools. And Suresh Kumar immediately that day only he closed. I'm grateful to them. Then I told pub, bar, and AC area. That way, Karnataka government, I really respect them. They closed. Now reopen slowly may be possible, but our people should listen. People should listen to the rule. Like, if it is really needed, you can go. I saw some four people in front of my house, just sitting there, walking there. I said, oh, we want to take the photograph. How the land will be without any traffic. You should not do such things. And you should respect the law. And strictly, if you follow, then it is possible, probably, a phase-wise, opening. Because, and the second thing is, you should have compassion for poor people. So you must, we have given our own construction people, we have given salaries to them. We have also given probably 1 lakh kits we made food grain items, 100,000. And it's our duty at this time to help people who are stranded, give them food, give them salary, look after them. Then only it is possible partially, you can open slowly. Otherwise, you don't give them ration and you don't start, it's hard. So someone, people should give generously to poor people, stranded laborers, all these areas, and sanitizers, and then start slowly.
Hmm. Do you think that's happening so far, ma'am?
I
The
really do
central
not.
government has announced some packages. The state governments are doing things, through the
I
local
really do not know
administration.
because I'm really not in the, outside the house. I would have talked to people, find out that I can't do that one. Whatever news you people give, I listen.
Right. Tell me about your own involvement because you have been locked down, but you're still active. Through the Infosys Foundation, through Akshay Patra. I read a report that you've also supplied grains to thousands of film workers. So tell me about all these initiatives, how you're sort of executing all of them. What is your focus currently in order to tackle
I
the COVID
see,
crisis?
we have done two types. Uh, one is one is uh, one is supplying the food chain. Second one is food items. Second one is helping the hospitals. Both we are doing both.
Right. Tell us about your collaboration with Dr. Devi Shetty. How has that worked out?
I think it is meant for my book, but we are going somewhere else. I think, Chandra. Huh?
Couldn't resist, ma'am. It's been a long time since we had you. That's why I had to take my
Well,
time.
we have taken a guest house, and we have paid the rent. And in case of emergency, some people. One second. Some people may, in case they admit or anything, in that case, we have taken two guest houses, a guest house for 2 months near Narayana.
Right. Coming back to writing, ma'am, have you already started thinking about the next book? Because, at your pace, every year I think you release a title, right? At
Yeah,
least that's been the trend so
yeah,
far.
yeah. Yes, I'm thinking of writing something, which I think I will do.
Is it going to be fiction, non-fiction?
That
Which
I really do not
category?
know. When I write, I will come to know.
Okay. And any books that you have been reading during the lockdown that you would like to tell us about, or books that you have sort of gone back and read to take inspiration
Yeah,
from or
yeah,
be
I have
motivated by?
7, 8 volumes of literature, which is
Hmm.
in um, Persian literature translated in Kannada, Adil Shahi's period. That I wanted to read for a long time. Now I'm reading that. That's Muhammad Ibrahim Shahi, the second, Ali Adil Shahi, then the period 19, sorry, 1960 onwards, the documents of the Vijapur dynasty, that's Ali Adil Shahi. I'm reading that now. I
Right,
would not about
right,
this much time. Uh-huh.
right. and a lot of titles from the Murthy Classical Library also.
That I do not know. That is Rohan's cup of tea. Okay. Okay,
Right.
Chetan.
On that note,
Very
ma'am,
much.
I just want to thank you for talking to us on ET now about your book, about how you have been spending your time. And would you have a message to share to everyone, a general message from Ms. Sudha Murty on this whole situation, this unusual, unprecedented situation that all of us are in?
I want to tell them, please don't complain. I don't get this, I don't get that, don't complain. It is like a warlike situation. Adjust. Adjust whatever you have. And make your life comfortable by thinking positive things. In this time, don't see negative movies, negative books, negative thoughts, or negative talks. Try to do positive things. Find out some positive things in your work. Try to do as much as positive, because negative will bring you down, positive will give you hope.
Right. On that positive note, I think all of us should be grateful for what we have and count our blessings, because there are many more people, we are better off than many other people that we see and hear about. So, on that optimistic and positive note, thank you very much, Ms. Murthy, for talking to us on ET Now about your book, about your life, and lessons that people can learn from that. Thank you again for joining us for this special interview on
Thank
ET
you.
Now.